You might find it easier to just grab onto it with some cutter.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bridging the Gap between Black men and Black women. We have two guests that's coming on. They're logging in as we speak. I'd like to welcome you and thank you for your support, continued support, and hope you've been enjoying the podcast. I know a lot of our episodes are not um, as heightened as some of the podcasts you're used to seeing. We try to keep the drama out as much as possible, but who knows? One day that show may be there. So, with that being said, Magic is tapping in, waiting for Ramon, and let me get her on board. Good evening, Magic.
Good evening.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Just got back in. Waiting for Ramon to tap in. I don't know what's up with Alonda. So I texted her. She didn't respond. So I don't know.
Okay.
So how was your day?
It was good. It was productive, relaxing.
That's good.
Yeah. How was your day, Mr. Williams?
It was blessed. I
Yeah.
got a few things done around the house. I didn't almost ate up the whole banana.
I was just getting ready to say.
I just dropped Eddie and Summer some off, and he was like, "Dad, this all you giving us?" I said, "Hey, that's all I can spare, man." So
So you ate a bunch of it, huh?
it was, my therapist came by today, and man, I did not know that I had kinks in my muscles the way I did. You
Uh-huh.
know, because she does the deep
Deep tissue.
deep tissue massage, and uh, I had to start because at one time it felt like I didn't have no circulation in my legs, like I was just moving them, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have any feeling in them, and now they're fine. It's sore from what she did, but she told me to ice my legs down. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do that after we get off this podcast. And then my partner came over, ain't seen him in a while, and he hooked up my boxes because the ones that hooked up, once you don't update them, keep them updated, they crash.
Oh,
So
yep.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I didn't know that. So luckily I had new ones in there. So he programmed two of them for me. So I get a chance to watch some movies tonight, hopefully. If I'm not
Oh.
if y'all don't wear me out. So let me ask you a question, Magic.
Uh-huh.
You came up with this title. So why this particular title?
I don't, you know what, it was something I had seen yesterday on Facebook, Facebook or Instagram. It was probably Instagram, and it was some type of reference to uh, watch out for the sisters that are running to the white boys or the white men or something like that. Beware of those sisters that choose outside their race or some crazy statement. And I had just thought about it as we was talking.
So why do you think people um preference preference no matter what the race is, why do you think they choose to go outside their race and date or
Oh
marry?
shit. Well, I personally don't know, but that old adage, back in the day, we used to hear black women used to hear that black men chose white women because they knew how to shut up. They knew how to follow order and follow direction. um, without feedback, basically. And it was the whole black women don't listen and all that old crazy stuff. But honestly, I don't know why. Especially black people, because we we have so many struggles already, and it's never been a preference of mine. I've never considered it. I've never thought about it. I never desired it. Never was curious. I've just always had a preference for black men. And, you know, am I bothered by seeing interracial couples? Not really bothered, but I always be like, I wonder why they got together. I wonder who chose who, or I wonder who was the preference. And, sometimes I think about things like that. But um, outside of that, I really don't know why. Everybody has their own reason for choosing something different, but it's not for me. What about you?
Well, I don't I can honestly say I've never dated. I've talked to women from other races, but I've never been in relationships with them.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the preference go, I prefer, I'll jump over 1,000 white women, just for one sister if I can find that sister. But I think that analogy that
Mm-hmm.
you just expressed do exist with a lot of black men,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason for it being is because once you get to a certain point in your life, I just think all the drama and the rhetoric, shenanigans need to just, needs to stop.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that black women don't shut up. I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of black women have bought into this feminist, and I'm not going to include the independence, because independence is a necessity to survive in life.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're more on the feminine side of it, where, hey, hello, brother.
Hey,
Hey,
what's
Mr.
happening?
Ramon.
How y'all
Hey,
doing tonight?
Good.
uh,
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Too blessed to
Good.
be stressed.
Good to see you. Where's the
Likewise.
missus? Where's the missus?
Uh, downstairs. We just made it home, so I think she's gonna. I don't know what she's gonna do yet.
Well, tell her I said hello when she's present.
I will.
Okay.
so our topic, brother, you just going to kind of fall in, is why do blacks date outside their race? And I just posed a question to Magic. Um, what did she think about it? And she said that she never even entertained the thought. And then she asked me, what about myself? I've talked to other race of women, but I've never been in relationships with them. So my preference also is black women. Um, I think black women has a quality about themselves that no other race possess. But I think the whole basis of why black men, in my opinion, this is only my opinion, date outside their race is because a lot of black women are on that feminist thing. And what I mean by that is simply this: they feel it's within their rights to challenge men. Now, I know you about to play devil's advocate. I see it in your face. so, Grandpa, you
Right.
pull that old hat off and sit it to the side, because this is gonna be a long one tonight. Okay, but again, it's good for some people and it's not good for others. Okay, and for example, in your relationship, your wife tuned into something, a potential that you
Magic said,
possess.
"Tell you how."
Yeah,
I got
hi,
my.
Jazz.
You can.
I got my bonnet on.
You got your bonnet on.
Yeah.
She said, "Hi, everybody."
Hello.
So, she tapped into a potential that you had inside you that you didn't realize yourself, even though you were a few years older. And women have a tendency of doing that because they say women mature faster than men. Not in
Okay.
all cases, but in the majority, right? So she challenged you to be the man that she knew you could be.
Okay.
And that manifested, but that's not always the case. So I'm gonna
Right.
play devil's advocate before you jump on board, right?
Okay.
When men get to a certain point in their life, okay, when you've been through a lot of things in your life, you have scars from previous relationships, because men get scarred just as well as women do.
Okay.
So with that being said, when you come into a relationship and you're looking for tranquility and peace and harmony, and that challenge is there, not the challenge in a good sense, I mean in a malicious sense. Okay, and we can go into that at a later time, but let me finish my point. What happens is a man say, well, okay, now I need to seek for something where I don't have that type of pressure. Why I don't have, because I don't want it. Maybe they want to be a beta male. I don't know, or they don't want to be considered an alpha male anymore. Whatever their preference is, why they choose to go over to other races of women, particularly white women. Because in most cases, not all white women are like this. A lot of white women are like sisters. You know, when it comes to characteristic traits, they will challenge a man. They will speak their mind, but most of them are not. Okay.
Okay.
So when you have a man that has this mindset and embrace this ideology, what he says is, this is what I want, because now I can be the man that I want to be. I don't have a woman that challenge me. So they become complacent in that, and they choose white women or other races of women over black women, because those races of women are not going to challenge them and make them be the man that they're supposed to be. That's just my opinion. So come on with it, Grandpa.
Okay. I have two close friends of mine that are married to white women, and the position I've always took. Let me first and foremost say this: I don't think that God made a more beautiful thing on the planet than when He made a black woman. So I teach my kids at home that I expect them to bring somebody home that looks like me and their mother. So that's what I expect. But when it comes to people who do it, I think it's more preference. If, like I said, I got two partners, two close friends that are really good friends of mine. And one I consider a best friend. He's married to a white woman, and he was raised around that, and so that's what he ended up being attracted to. And he loves black women. He respects black women, but that's not the way that he went. I think I don't want to be offensive, but I have to be true. And so just a disclosure out there, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but it's my truth. Oftentimes, I think that black men get with black women, or with white women or other races of women, because I think that is a lack of love for themselves, or they didn't see the love, or they had drama within their house growing up, and they think that it'll be easier by dating another woman. I often hear men say that other women from other races are not as boisterous or challenging, and so they want women to be submissive unto them. I'm not saying that my partners or anybody, that's why they chose them. But as a man looking at other men, I think that's my opinion, that they don't want to be challenged. And oftentimes it is easier financially. It's easier credit wise. It's easy. It's just easier when you are with the opposite race. But then there are other aspects when you are with the opposite race that they both have to deal with, that they have to struggle. Because being in an opposite relationship, you have both. If you're with a white woman, if you're a black man with a white woman, you're going to have stereotypes coming from white men and white people saying they don't like it, and vice versa the other way. And so I think people who are in blended relationships, they deal with their own challenges and their own issues. But I do think that sometimes it's a cop out, and it's an easy way that men from our culture, they do that. But I think also it's a trophy. I think that coming up in our culture, that it was a stigmatism where someone said they couldn't have a white woman. And now that they have reached a certain status, they think that a white woman would help excel and push them forward in life. I don't prescribe to that. I think that a man should be able to stand and do whatever he needs to do to get where he got to go. But if that's his preference, then I have nothing against it. But for me in my house, I teach my children just like every other culture should teach their children that I see. The Asians do it, the whites do it. They say, don't bring that home. I love our culture. I love our people, and I think that I would love to see Black men and Black women learn to get along, live together in harmony, which is very hard to do at times in our culture. But I don't think that going to the opposite race solves the issues in our community. That's my opinion.
Miss Magic,
Yes.
hearing what's been conveyed and transcribed from two Black men, you being a Black woman, you made it perfectly clear, very adamant about it, that you would not go outside your race to date Black men. My question I pose to you at this time is if you're getting to that point in your life where I'm assuming, I'm not because I don't know you like that, that you're looking to fill that void in your life. And that's not to say you're desperate or anything like that. I'm just saying,
Hypothetical.
Hypothetically.
hypothetical.
Okay.
So, say you met someone from another race, okay, just hypothetically, and they possess those rare qualities or characteristic trait that your former husband had, your father had, but they were from another race. You would not consider that?
Absolutely not. Ain't no way in hell. No, and no. Because let me keep it like I usually try to do. I keep it very authentic when it comes out of my mouth. Me being as visual as I am and as sexual as I am, I don't want to see no pink dick. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want no raw meat. No, thank you. Just the thought of it is like it makes me cringe. Like it's just not for me. It's just not for me. It's just not. I don't even like looking at raw chicken in the kitchen. So I don't. Nope. It's just something about a Black man that just does it for me.
Yes. Same. Even in my younger years, when I watch porn, I would.
Let me welcome Gerald. How
Hey,
you
sir.
doing this evening, Gerald? She ain't lying. Huh?
Yeah, he knows me. He knows me oh so well. This man knows me oh so very well. He is a true and very, very dear friend of mine. And we have all kind of conversations from A to Z. And if nobody knows me better, that man does. He knew my husband. He knew our relationship, how we got down. He knows my kids. He's taking care of my kids. So this man knows me. And
have you ever asked Gerald? Have you ever asked him to be a guest on the show?
I have. We've talked about it. We've talked about the show, but he's got a household. He's got a big household, and he's got a lot going on. And he really can't, unless his kids go to bed at 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening or something like that, just for him to jump on, he'd be able to. But he's got a big household. He is a true Black man that takes care of his family. So he just doesn't have the time to get on.
Well, Mr. Ray, we humbly extend that invitation to you. So if you ever find that time, let Magic know, and we'll get you on the show and get your perspective, because I'm pretty sure if you're in tune with Magic.
And we've had some way out conversations, and I will add to that. And I hope, he might cuss me out after I say this, but he is in an interracial marriage, and I respect his interracial marriage. And
Yes.
there isn't anything that I see in his family that is any different than an all Black family.
So why wouldn't you consider it?
It's not
Because
my
she said it's not her cup of tea.
It's
it's
really
like
not my thing. It's something.
it's like
and I think because the first man I ever fell in love with was my daddy. First man I ever fell in love with was my daddy. I thought my daddy was everything.
Bag down, Johnny Cochran, for a minute. Let me do what I do.
So
okay.
I love that man. And there wasn't anything better. And it was just what I wanted. I just wanted somebody like my daddy at first, who was a very light-skinned, fair-skinned man, much lighter than I am. So I thought I wanted a light-skinned Black man, and I tried that, and I said, okay, we won't do that again. So now, like, if you come at me and you 12:01 a.m. Black, oh, it's going down. Like, that's just, I love that. I love a dark, Black, big, crispy Black man. I just do. It's just something about a Black man.
Well, you wouldn't like me because you're darker than me.
Absolutely, I am. Don't forget that. Don't you forget that.
Ramon, is funny because me and Magic have had this conversation, right? And when I first met Magic, I thought she was. I didn't think she was Black, and so when we had the conversation about ethnicity, she was like, "Ramon, I'm darker than you." And I said, "What camera are you looking in?" Video, right? And she said, "You're light compared to me."
I am not light skinned. I am brown. I'm like brown, not Hershey brown.
Okay, Johnny. Johnny, come on in. Let's get the input. Come on, let's feel the truth, man.
So I agree with Magic that it's preference. I have family members who have blended relationships. But for me, even when I was a young man and I was dibbling and watching porn, I'm talking about very young, I never had ever been attracted or turned on to that. I need something.
I can't watch porn with white people in it.
Yeah, I need something with some color. That's it don't do nothing for me. It's
nobody, no other one without strength like a Black man. No other one.
My wife said no, and I ain't.
What you say? Come on.
Say
What
it
what the missus
No
say?
other woman.
She says no other.
Strength like a Black one.
She says no other woman has strength like a Black woman. You need to have a chair next to you. You want to put your
Right.
comments in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Come on, Jasmine.
And I
Come on,
think
Jasmine.
about
Hey, tell Jasmine to let her hair down and come on in here.
I ain't got no hair.
But you know what? We understand.
I can barely hear you.
Who?
I don't know what that is.
Who in there? Somebody must be white.
No, I know.
Oh.
Talking about.
So you
No,
like
Lamont,
you
your
scared to
volume
say?
seems like you're coming across like you're a little distant.
Who, me?
Yeah,
What about now?
it's a little better. Yeah, that's a little.
It's a little better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I just think that I respect people's relationships, however they decide to go,
right.
and what they decide to do.
Right.
But again, I'm speaking of my preference, and even when it comes to my children, it's not that I have anything against. I have white friends, Hispanic friends, but I don't want my children. I had Black babies, and I want them to bring home Black grandbabies.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be fake of me and any other people, race of people who say they don't want that.
Right.
You know, a lot of people may not speak it publicly, but I would prefer my children to bring home something that looks like their mother and I.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's kind of funny you should say that because, you know, my first wife, my son's mother, all four of my boys have the same mother. She's Black and Hispanic. She's always encouraged them until recently to when I came back into the picture, all my sons were dating white girls and Indians and Hispanic women. And I had a problem with that. I really did, because for one, you're taking away from the richness of our culture, giving it to the opposite side. Two, your mom telling you don't date Black women because of this and because of that. Your mom is a Black woman. She don't claim to be Black, but she's married to another Black man. Her father's Black. Her mother's Hispanic. Okay.
That's what it is.
So we know that you mix Black with any color.
It's Black.
Black is dominant. Any other color is recessive. You know, so once I explained to my sons, I said, you know what, man? Well, Dad, you know, Black women, they're mean. They talk too much and they look this is what one of my one sons said. He said they look nasty. I said, what?
Wow.
I said, man, come on, man. Your mom is feeding you with a bunch of nonsense because she's disclaiming her own heritage for the sake of what? When she's married to a Black man, all her children's by a Black man.
I've had someone tell me, and I'm not going to say their name or how, because I don't want to cause no drama. But I've had someone that is in a blended relationship, blended family, and he says, you know, I love my wife. I'm happy. I live a good life, but it is I feel like it's something missing because I'm not with a Black woman. I've had that conversation, you know, and so I think that when you do date outside of your race and you end up marrying or having children, I think there is a void that is always empty, because I be in the grocery store and I see blended families, Black man, white woman. And I've noticed oftentimes the Black man try to like fall back and let them move in front, or it's like he's not proud to be with that particular race. But my thing is, why are you acting like that? But you married her, you have children, or you with her? You know what I mean? So I just think that, or I'll see them with I've seen it several times. My wife and I will be at the store, and you with the opposite race, but you looking at Black women. If I look back or whatever, so why are you with that if that's not what you want?
Yeah,
and so
a lot of Black men won't even make eye contact when they see a Black woman coming and they're with whatever race. They won't make eye contact, and see, that's just gonna make me speak even louder. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, that's true. They don't even. And if you a Black man and a Black woman walking together and they're in a blended relationship, they acknowledge you. You can feel the tension so thick you can cut it. And I'm not prejudging, you know, whoever you want to be with and what you want to do.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I support whatever you know. I don't got to deal with it, but for me in my house, that's what I choose. You know.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. I think, you know, even though it's a preference, I think Black women play a major role in why a lot of men cross over. I really do. And I'm not.
Hold on. I couldn't hear you. What you say? You very low today.
Hold on. Let me get close to this mic.
Oh, hell.
Can you hear me now?
Maybe it's me. I can hear you, but it's kind of low. I'm loud, but hold on. Let me see something.
Oh my goodness, Mr. Williams.
Okay, there we go. Ahead now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not saying now.
Repeat what you said, because I didn't hear it.
I'm physically repeat what I said.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the thing, man, and this is not my truth. This is a reality, and it's based on statistics.
Let me go put some lip gloss on my lips because
Yeah.
you done made my mouth dry with that bullshit.
Yeah, okay. You better go and get that whole jar of Vaseline then. But anyhow, the perspectives and ideologies that a lot of Black women embrace today, because of the tainted and weak characteristic traits of some Black men, not all, that challenge that Black women bring to Black men, they can't embrace. They're not strong enough mentally or physically. Okay, so they choose to opt out, to go over, because that challenge is not there with most white women or women from other races.
But you
And
said you blame Black women for Black men going to chase some other kind of ass. That's bullshit.
A lot of women contribute to Black women crossing over.
I don't agree with that.
Well, hold on. You have no choice but to agree when I finish, because
Okay.
I'm saying this for a fact.
Okay.
I understand. You understand because you're married to that type of woman, right? I've been with those type of women. The thing about it is, it's okay when a woman is an individual. It's okay when a woman has an opinion, right? It's okay for a woman to be concerned about her Black man and tells him when he's stepping out of bounds, because if he falls, it normally takes the whole family with him. Okay, usually think about it. When men get in trouble, particularly Black men out ripping and running the street, where's the woman usually at? At home with the kids.
Okay.
Then she gets that call, so she got to run to his rescue, right? But when you got women that's not just giving their opinion to try to uplift her man and keep him in line, when she has this love affair going with her voice, when she likes the way she sounds, and people have hit her on the back and told her, "Girl, you be on point, the shit you be saying." Now it becomes so abrasive to Black men when she converse with them. That comes across, and most men, as I said, if they're in this mindset, they're gonna say, you're way too masculine for me. You're way too dominant for me. You're way too opinionated for me. I'm not ready to deal with that. So I'm gonna go over here and get with this woman that's gonna be more submissive, that's not gonna challenge me, that's not gonna be so opinionated. And this is and I'm telling you this because I have a lot of family members that's in mixed relationships. And I asked them, why do you choose to be with that Asian woman? Why are you with that white girl? And this is the consensus. And if you check the statistics on Google, I can guarantee you most Black men will say the same thing.
Girl, you don't get your fill off my water.
I think that is. I really believe that is preference.
Absolutely.
I believe that it's strong preference. And I would say, and I may get in trouble for saying this, but I have to say it to play the devil's advocate. I don't want us to come across like these other groups of people are weak. I know those women can be strong and can push and do all those things. But because the TV show or this podcast is about bridging the gap between Black men and Black men and Nyla, go. Black men and Black women, I think that oftentimes our men, they do a cop out. They're looking for an easy way out because they don't. Maybe they didn't come in a house, grow up in a house where it was a lot of arguing and fighting and all that, and then they get in the dating scene and they find somebody, try to be with a sister, and all the ones they run across may be challenging them or argumentative, and they're not used to that. So if they so choose to go that way, then that's their choice. But when we talk about our culture, I think that we can't grow as a people unless we are willing to grow together. That's my opinion.
True. That's so true. But yeah, it is. I think it's a cop out as well as being lazy. because you're gonna find the same type of women in every culture, every race, every nationality. You're gonna find bitches in the black culture. You're gonna find bitches in the Asian culture, in the Mexican culture, all of them. You're gonna find submissive women in every culture. You're gonna find aggressive women in every culture. So, first and foremost, it is a preference. Secondly, the stereotypes come across as easy when you start to talk about interracial dating. Of course, black men want strong women, or they want women that are going to conform to what they want them to conform to. But it's not hard for a black woman to conform when you're leading the way you're supposed to be leading. It's that simple.
You keep saying that, Magic, but I'm talking about that is so limited when it comes to black women, because all black women don't think like you.
All black women don't think like me, and all black men don't think the way you think. The problem is finding someone you're compatible with without taking the lazy way out, without giving up and throwing up your hands and settling.
Is the lazy way based on your opinion, or is it based on
what I'm saying? No, it is based on my opinion. When you date lazy, or when you seek in a lazy fashion, and when you don't actually continue to pursue what it is exactly that you're looking for, then that's lazy. Yeah, you gave up. That's lazy.
Wait a minute, Magic.
That's lazy.
You know, I'm talking about when you put that type of barrier on black men, when you say that they're lazy because they're not.
No, I didn't say black men are lazy. That's what I didn't say. That's what I didn't say.
Well, whoever you reference to, it's men. Okay, so
I'm not saying them as a body is lazy. I'm saying the way they're dating and pursuing is lazy.
But here's my point. Once again, you know, everyone, and I know Grandpa be the first one to jump on this bandwagon that, you know, we want to put women on a pedestal as being queens, but how do you treat a woman as a queen when her conduct doesn't befit that? I personally don't see treating any woman as a queen and giving her that respect when she doesn't deserve it.
Of course not. Why would you?
know, so
I agree.
when you say being lazy, it's almost like I have to keep using, because I don't like to speak so general all the time, because people say, well, it's kind of vague the way you generalize everything. So I'm gonna use myself for example. When you try to reach out to a female that you particularly like, now I know what you're gonna say, well, she's not for you, but when you feel she possesses those qualities and you're willing to invest, and she's not, put this up here. Yeah, you're right, Gerald. I like Gerald.
So do I.
Yeah. So when I make the initiative and I'm trying to do things and that's not being reciprocated, so the laziness falls on the other part. So now it can easily be misconstrued as you must not be doing something right. The black man is never given credit for anything. You know, I'm talking about Bill Cosby, Grandpa right here, Mr. Huxtable. He's far.
He what? Don't call that man Bill Cosby.
That's what everybody else calls him.
Hey,
Huxtable.
Hey, I love him, but his relationship is an exception to the rule, because the way him and his wife have intertwined and laid a foundation and build on it through their trials and tribulations. You don't have. I bet you can't name a handful of people that have that type of relationship. I know I can.
I can. I so many people in my circle. Those are the people I align myself with.
Well, you should be married to one of their friends then.
No, I should not, because I'm not ready for marriage.
She just.
No, there's nobody in my life right now that I can say, "Ooh, I want to marry him. There's nobody in my life right now like that. Most
So you
people
just wanna
cannot.
stay
And
single?
Drew
You
can
just wanna
vouch
be-
for this because I'm always screenshotting my conversations so that he can see them.
You want to stay single and sexy and freaky, huh?
No, that's not it. What I said is there is not one single man in my life right now that warrants me considering marrying him. My qualifications are not high. My prerequisites are not off the chain. None of that. Like, there's just not the quality of man that can tolerate me, keep me in check and in line. There's not a man that can come forward right now, that can deal with that. I'm very headstrong. I'm very determined. And if I'm full of energy every day and I'm ready to go get it and I'm ready to do it, everybody calls me a busybody because I'm always doing something.
You prove my point, what I just said earlier,
What?
and I reiterate.
What?
It's that perspective that pushed men over to white women.
No, it's not. This
Yes,
is
it
what
is.
I'm saying.
Wait, hold on,
If a man comes to me ready and willing and able, I'm gonna give that man a chance to prove himself with me.
How can
you contradict yourself? You just said you're not ready to be. You're not ready to be married to the people you're associating with currently.
This is what. Let me say it again, so the people in the back can get it. Also, let me repeat myself. Let me
turn my hearing aid up first, okay?
There is not one single person, man, heterosexual man, in my life right now that I would consider dating, that is intensely dating or trying to date me. I am single. I'm not exclusive with anybody. There is not one single man in my life right now that I can say, you know what?
Can I ask a question?
What?
Can I knock on the door?
Y'all are crazy.
Hey, Ramon. He's sitting here putting on this American presidential speech about what ain't going on. I'm talking about so what
you said she on the campaign trail, huh?
She's on the campaign trail. You know what I'm talking about? So, okay, I'm single. I'm talking about, so what do I got to do to knock on the door?
If you are serious about trying to date me, then you need to move accordingly. That means conversations need to be had, phone calls need to be made.
Well, one thing you can't do. What is it? What you doing? WYD.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
Hey, Ramon, I hit you up with that every other day just to get a rise out of it.
It's that simple. I love black men. That's the bottom line. I would never date outside my race. It's never been considered. It's never been thought of. For a white man to approach me, Asian, Mexican, or whatever, to approach me, they'd have to come.
You know, let me say this. I was at work and I got into it.
What did he say? You better knock real hard. That's right. Tell him, sir. Tell him. He said he gonna give you a cheat sheet.
All right, Gerald. I'm gonna be calling you after the show. Go ahead, Ramon.
So I was at work one day and it became a heated argument because they were saying they need exotic women. Mm-hmm. And I said I simply said black women are exotic. I said, so what is your definition of an exotic? I said, and he was like, black women ain't exotic. And I was like, well, I said, so give me a definition of what exotic is. You know what I mean? So they got mad at me because I thought that, you know, me standing up and saying that black women were exotic and the most exotic thing that I've seen, they said, well, I wasn't educated or I haven't seen women. And I said, well, that's your preference, but they got upset with me for even saying that black women were exotic. These are black men. So they think women over in Brazil and all those areas is exotic. You know what I mean? So a lot of men are not dating or having sex with women to either procreate and have children or have anything. You know, a lot of men are doing things based on fantasy, you know, and so those are some of the major hurdles that we have, because a man will sleep with you and still not be happy. And I don't know if some black men ain't happy with a black woman. They ain't happy with no woman. You know what I mean? They just want to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Well,
you know what?
so
I won't take away from women in other countries. They are exotic women. Asian women can be exotic. Mexican women, every nationality.
No, I'm not saying. Yes,
yeah,
you're right. I'm not
saying that. I know you're not saying that, but I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm just making a point from black men that I've spoke with.
Yeah.
When they don't even put black women in the category as being exotic, and these are black men. That's the point that I was making.
Where did this conversation transpire? On the show floor?
On the show floor, yeah.
There you go, right there. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this on camera. You don't even have to, because I'm on my way out, and even if I wasn't, I would say it. We're around some of the most incompetent, illiterate people in the world in the convention industry. And when you're talking about black people particularly, you ain't got a brain in amongst 1,000 men or women out there. Okay, so for them, I'm not even surprised that they would even say something like this to you, because you know why? They're not focused on the realities that you live in, the realities that you deal with. They're focused on being a slave for those generals out there making that money when you that Freeman and these other companies took them from being pizza delivery drivers and popping popcorn standing on the corner. So I'm not even surprised by it. So next time I'm on the show floor and you engage in one of these conversations, just hit me up. I'll be over there to support you.
This man just say popping popcorn on the corner.
Yeah.
Oh wow. No,
I feel like it's a self-hate though.
But my wife says she feels like it's a self-hate at times. Not all the time, but she says she thinks it's a self-hate.
I would agree with that too. A lot of times it is. It is.
They don't like their mamas.
She said they don't like their mamas.
Absolutely.
Their grandmas.
Yep.
None of the women in their family.
None of the women in their family.
Yep.
You need to get your chair.
Something by going outside their race. They think they're hurting someone, you know, in their family or close to them by dating outside their race. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Good night, Gerald.
Did I kick your life?
No.
Yeah, that statement I made sent Gerald to bed.
It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I've heard.
But are we just talking about men? Because what about
I've had black men tell me, you know, once they realize that I am a black woman and I'm not Hispanic or I'm not mixed with white, they don't want to talk to me anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what about
the luxury was in talking to someone who wasn't black. But as soon as I identify as black, then now I'm a problem. Now I'm a problem.
You always been a problem. Now to address what you're saying, on the flip side,
say her name, but she went with somebody that was white because she didn't like.
I know, but you speaking, so you can pick it up.
She ain't like being called dark, so she went and got a white man so she could have mixed kids.
Oh wow! Well, yeah, that's what people do. They think if they date outside their race, their kids are gonna be pretty. I've seen some horrific looking interracial children. I'm sorry to say that, but it's a fact.
So it's not. She says she wanted mixed kids so they can look good.
Yeah,
and that's not a guarantee, unfortunately.
So like, it's your lane.
Well, here's the thing, Grandpa. When women, I think, because my sister was, may she rest in peace, he had started dating other race of men, and particularly Hispanic and white men. And I was totally against it. But again, that was her life. And I don't get involved in that domestic stuff. But most women will say they date other race of men because it gives them the control that they desire. Okay. So they can come and go, do as they will without being accountable or answering to anyone, because most of those men are beta men or real submissive men anyhow to start with. I'm not saying
and
all
if
of them
you
are.
cast your line out there enough, you're gonna find a black man that's the same way. That's crazy. That's
Well,
crazy. The
yeah,
stereotypes are crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a reality. I didn't create stereotypes.
Oh, I know, but I'm just making a statement. The
Yeah,
stereotypes in itself are crazy.
But almost everything that we can think of or discuss in this world fits in a box, in some box. So whether it's a stereotypic box, it's a factual box, it's a fantasy box, it goes somewhere. You know, I'm talking about people have their preference. They will justify why they do what they do, you know, and you can't do nothing but accept it, because who are we to change the preference that people have?
But what is the percentage of relationships that last, that's interracial and that are happy? You know what I mean? So, you know, although we've given our opinions, but you know, like I said, I have two friends, and both of them have been in long lasting healthy relationships. Both of them, they're doing very well, and both of them women. Well, I know my best friend. I know his wife. The other one, I really haven't spent too much time around his wife, but I know that not only does she support him, but he loves her, and you know, he's pro-black. You know, he don't mind talking about his blackness and his heritage. But that's who he so chose to be with. But when we talk about, we have to be balanced in the show. How many of those relationships are healthy? How many of those relationships are lasting? And we have to find out and get to the core why, when it comes to our relationships as Black men and Black women, why are we clashing so much? Because you don't see that, though. You don't see interracial couples clashing as much as you see Black men and Black women clashing. And I would always go back to respect. You know, we have to learn to respect one another. And the Black man, and you know, I'm a component of this, the Black man, he feels oftentimes that the Black woman needs to shut up and be submissive. And he wants to domineer and be her father. And that's not what the Black woman is looking for. She's looking for her helpmeet. She's looking for somebody to guide, to help, and to lead. And oftentimes, Black men go outside of their race because they can't lead a Black woman. They're weak. That's what I've seen. You know what I mean? When you say I'm attracted to a Black woman, but I'm a marry or I'm a date outside of that because I can't deal with her. But if you in a strip club, you ain't going to a strip club to see no white women. You're going to see Black women. Or if you watching pornography and you fantasizing about a Black woman, that means you want to be with a Black woman, but you're saying you're not man enough to deal with a Black woman.
You don't want to put in the work. You don't want
to put exactly. So, you know, our women are the most sexual symbols when it comes to pornography, videos, and all these things, the most disrespected. And so I understand, and I have to, you know, I got to play devil's advocate, but I understand when we don't respect our women, how could we expect anyone else to respect them? And so, you know, I think when men go outside and date outside of their race, they're saying to the other race that our Black women are nothing. in a large proportion. I'm not saying that in all, but I think that that's what.
I don't.
Go
I
ahead.
don't agree. I don't agree with that, Grandpa. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why, man.
Okay.
And I said it early, and I reiterate this again. That oftentimes, man, that men. Now, I do concur with you that a lot of black men are inherently weak, and they don't want to be challenged by a woman. But then you have different elements of this that you have to consider, right? A lot of women may fit in that category. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a lot of women that do. They're just chatterboxes, man. They just talk shit, run their mouth because you know they
Why
just
you?
hurt. Okay, so hold on, hear me out. So me personally, I love black women, but and even though I don't date outside my race, one thing, you have to read what Gerald said, because I don't want to lose my train of thought right now. I think women that don't think like your wife, women that don't think like Magic, create an environment that's not conducive to a promising relationship.
You don't got to be with them.
No, see, the thing is, the people, black people come in a relationship with trauma. White people don't have that because they have 2-parent households. So that's why black men and black women clash, because it's trauma.
My wife said that black men,
I heard it.
black women come into relationships with trauma, and that's why they clash.
Yeah.
White women, historically, does not have the trauma.
Household.
They have a 2-parent household, and even raising a 2-parent household with my children move a lot different from their peers because they have a 2-parent household, and oftentimes they're not even accepted in their peer group because having a two-parent household, they don't have a lot of the trauma that that their peers have. And so I think coming from broken homes, you know, that plays a major part of why we clash and we can't get over certain hurdles. And so we have to have patience to be able to deal with one another and have the longevity to be able to work it out and work through it.
Let me play devil advocate for a minute, since I got off track with my last thing, right?
Sorry, I apologize.
No, and I agree with you, both you and Jasmine, right? But here's the thing: how long are we gonna play that trauma shit and use
Until we heal?
it as a crutch? Because here's
2020.
Here's the thing, right? And this is some real shit, okay? No matter what you go through in life,
okay,
you have to go through something in order to grow. That's just a simple reality. So say, I'm gonna use myself as an example. When I was married for 17 years, right? And my wife cheated on me with the guy she's married to now, I didn't take that into my next relationship. My relationship, the reason I divorced my second wife was based on her actions, not from what I experienced in my previous marriage. Okay, so I'm not saying everybody's going to do this, and a lot of people probably don't do this, but this using this as a crutch, I hear it so much, man. It just annoys me when I hear it. Well, they're traumatized and they're scarred from this and that. Okay, well, go and call a goddamn doctor then and get healed.
Well, it's a lot of our people, a lot of our women and men are doing that now. There's a large group of people that have never sought counseling, that are seeking counseling now. We have to remember that the generation that is dating right now is a large of 80 babies. So 80 babies dealt with a lot of trauma. You know, it was I think Magic brought it up a few segments ago about the crack era. You know, and so a lot of people are dealing with from being touched by maybe a family member, fathers not being there, parents on drugs, and so not being heard, maybe yelled at. And so we're dealing with people who are have a lot of trauma and a lot of triggers, And you have to be sensitive with dealing with our women, you know. And if you can't be sensitive, then I don't think that you should deal with them. I think you should go and be with somebody that you can deal with. But if you're going to be with a Black woman and you're going to break her down more mentally and you're going to take her through it, I don't think you should be with her. Because why would you take something that's gentle, any woman for that matter, take something that's already broken and make it worse?
Well,
You know, how can you expect?
Why would a man subject himself to being abused by a woman? Because I'm talking about it, that can go either way.
You say that again?
Why would a Black man subject himself to being verbally abused by a woman?
Yeah, we talked about that a few segments ago. You know, when you see those signs and it's something that you're not willing to be able to deal with, then I don't expect anybody that's be in a relationship that is violent, verbally abusive, physically abusive. I don't support that at all. But what I'm saying is that if you know that if you as a Black man, you know that Black women, what trauma they have dealt with. You know, we all know this. So when you know that they have dealt with trauma, then you need to be gentle with them. And this is not even just for Black women, but it's specifically for Black women. But any woman that is dealing with trauma as a man, you are supposed to be her safe space. So when a woman is dealing with triggers or traumas or not being seen, not feeling adequate, not feeling important, these are things that our Black women are dealing with. You got boys, you got Black women who were young teenagers that was irresponsible and messed around with a boy and got left. You know what I mean? And raising a child all by themselves, struggling. And then you come in and she think that you somebody from your game and everything you spit, and you coming in and you gonna make her life better and you make her life hell and worse, then you are doing nothing but tearing that woman down more. And that's what a lot of men are doing right now. You have to be sensitive when you're dealing with our women. And most men don't know how to be that. They want a woman to be submissive, but you don't want to be sensitive. How can she even get into her femininity if this is scientifically proven. Whenever a woman becomes masculine, that means that she has been in her fight or flight mode for too long. She's in survival mode. And so when a Black woman gets with a man, especially in a relationship or marriage, that man should have a safe space for that woman to be able to be safe. But if you're yelling, you're raising your voice and you're doing all these things and you know she's broken, don't deal with her. Give her to a man that can be gentle and deal with her. And so oftentimes our men are getting with women that they're trying to make them to be what they want them to be, but are not healing them from the trauma that they're dealing with. And so I think it's irresponsible whenever a man gets with a woman and he knows we can see it. We're talking about it. Yeah. There's broken women in our society. I mean, broken. You go out in the store and you can see it. The women are not smiling. If a woman was being loved, she would be smiling.
Well, Ramon, I agree with you, brother, to some degree, but you can't look at every person and tell if they're happy or sad. That's just
what,
man. You can't.
I guess I'm gifted. Listen, I'm gifted. When I'm in the grocery store, I'm out in public. I guess it's a gift, a discernment or whatever. When I'm around a woman, matter of fact, I didn't got.
You can feel a woman.
You can feel it. Not only can I feel it with a woman, I can feel it with anybody, a man or whatever. Yeah. You can feel that. I mean, some women got resting bitch faces. And that don't mean that they're going through anything. That's just they got a resting bitch face. But I'm not talking about a resting bitch face. I'm talking about you can feel that they're being stressed out, that they're carrying the world on their shoulders, that they don't know if they're coming or going. They're broken. And there is not any other group of women that are broken like the Black woman. That's a fact. Well, I'm not saying other women don't go through things, but there's no other group of women who are broken like our women.
It's true as that may be, and I concur with you 100%, man. But oftentimes, man, a smile is a frown turned upside down. So, you may have or believe you have that discernment to read people like that. And okay, that's fine. I'm not going to dispute that. But what I see, my perspective and perception is different from yours, because oftentimes, going in these stores, I look because I'm always seeking people to approach about this podcast. Magic sent me these flyers. I've had business cards made, and I'm gonna give you an example. Was in Smith's the other day. Okay, Magic sent me these cards. I just remember Magic. I told you I just got the cards in the mail.
Yeah.
I said, "Well, shit, I'm going to Smith's, Walmart. I'm supposed to pass these things out, right?" So, how you doing, sister? I don't mean to be personal. Are you in a relationship? And they hesitate, like, no, I'm not trying to get at you. I'm asking you a question because I'm a podcast personality. Now they kind of relax. So I pull out my card and I'm talking. So I pass out a few, and they're receptive to it. This one woman, I think she had to be Cuban. Okay. She was at the counter, at the customer service counter. I'm listening to this woman talk English, right? This is the reason I said in an earlier episode, men are very skeptical about approaching certain women that have a certain look. The woman had, to me, one of those BBLs. She was like, people was old women and old men was walking past her. No exaggeration, like. So when I seen her, I said, well, she would be a prime candidate to have on the podcast, right? So I approached you.
She'll be a prime candidate. We ain't watching ass on the podcast. What the fuck you mean? Get out of here with that.
Stop walking your ass on blast. Listen, I approached her in a very respectful and subtle way. And you know what she did to me? Now, had I not had the confidence that I have as a man, I would have been embarrassed and I'd have walked away, my tail tucked. Look, she said, no speak English. So I looked at her and I said, are you serious? So I took my card, right? And this is just to show you how some people are. Women, I'm not talking about particularly black women. So I take the card and I throw it right in front of her wallet. And I walked off. And I turned back to look to see, because if she wasn't interested, you know what she'd have did? Swiped it on the floor. She took it and put it in her purse.
Okay.
So my point being this, man, that this woman sitting here looking like what society has construed as being exotic. Okay, I took a shot at it, but I took one for the podcast.
Yeah, okay. All right. Oh, yeah, okay.
Anyhow, back to the subject at hand. No, oftentimes, if you have that gift, brother, I commend you, because I go out a lot, man, and try to pass these cards out and converse with women. And I see on some women's face where they look like, man, it's just really all bad, but just Gerald. But you, Magic, on the other hand, stop
what?
Because you already know
what.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna leave that for another
time. Wait a minute. What did I miss? What did I miss? What happened?
But no, we're not trying to go out. Well, I'm not trying to go out, and I don't know if Ramon's been out trying to recruit people. I know you have, because most of the stuff you post, it comes right to me. So I don't go out and look for a particular woman. I go out and look for black women in general. Okay. I've had a lot of women hit me up on my inbox, and I told you this, Magic. Puerto Ricans, white women, and ask me, why am I discriminating against them? Why can't they be on the panel? And like I told them, this show is designed particularly for black men and black women. If you choose to come on and give your perspective about any topic that we have, we will welcome that. But we're not going to deviate from our objective just because you want to participate, because there's a whole bunch of podcasts that's going on that you can actually be a panelist on. But on this show, no. So
okay, so let me back up. You start talking about that big ass woman, cause why?
what? The woman was not big, Magic. And just for the record,
She said
I'm
big
not-
ass. She said so.
Oh.
She said not. She said big ass. You were It sounded like you were mesmerized by the ass.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I'm a man. My testosterone levels are high. Okay. And when I walk past and I see it, you know, I'm very observant of my surroundings. And when I see everybody in a certain area, I started looking through. And the first thing I noticed, because she had on booty shorts, I said, well, shit, this is a black woman. Let me go over here and see what's going on. And that's what I did.
I thought she was in.
So y'all can call it whatever you want to. Like, go get a piercing. Just said I was
he was distracted.
You're right. I was distracted.
Go get her.
Because when I seen that BBL, I said, shit, I'm gonna use this justification and say it's for the podcast. But yeah,
He gonna tell us next. He gonna tell us next. We got to be standing up when we doing the podcast.
Come in and spin around, take a turn.
Right?
Boy,
Yeah.
right?
There we go. Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? This in all fairness to all those people out there, man, that choose to be in interracial relationship, that's fine and dandy, because my mom was half white and my grandfather is white. I met him one time when I was little. Never heard or ran into him again. I just know that he was a very wealthy man in Arizona, and I never understood that. My kids, with the exception of one, is light-skinned, and I think he took his pigmentation out this mom because she's light. But all the rest of my sons are my complexion. My daughter is my complexion. My oldest daughter is my complexion. You know, so I value the pigmentation that or melanin that we've been blessed with, because I know a lot of people despise it, but yet they want to be like us. You know, they can't sell enough suntan lotion. They can't sunbathe enough to get what God has gifted us with. So with that, yeah, I love my people. I do. But you can't take away what other people like or desire to be with either. That's their preference. It's not going to destroy our community if half our population went out and married white men and white women or Asian women.
The truth of the matter is, and the elephant in the room is anytime that a black man appropriates with a white woman or Asian woman or any other woman, you know, it's written in our Constitution, the one drop rule. But we have the dominant gene. So if we so choose to go and populate with everybody in the world, those people are black. They're not, exactly. You know, they call them interracial, but they're black. Mm-hmm. So everything that I'm speaking from a preference, a personal preference. I respect all relationships, and if you're in love and the person is treating you right and there for you, then I think if y'all in love, then I think be happy. But I do have a problem with people who I can't even say I have a problem. I will say that I noticed that some people do it out of convenience and don't do it out of love. So, you know, that's unfortunate, but that happens in a large number of people who are in interracial relationships.
And yeah,
but you know, it happens right now. It's happening more now, I think, because it's accepted than ever before. So we are seeing it in large numbers when we are out and at the malls and the shopping stores and all that. you know, I rarely see, and Magic, you're in California, answer this, you know, for me as well. But both of you guys, I rarely see when I'm out, couples, African American man, woman, and children together. I rarely see that now. Everywhere you go, you see interracial relationships, and what that's telling us is that it's accepted, it's happening, and it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. You know, they look at my family and I when we are in public like we something weird. Like,
You're the Huxtables.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you see a lot of interracial couples here in California, but I go out of my way to mingle with black folks. That's just what I do. When I'm looking for a handyman, I'm looking for a black man. If I'm looking for a landscaper, I'm looking for a black.
Well, we got to get you over here on Sin City land, okay?
Well, the other thing is that I have to say too is that, and not to offend any of our guests or anybody, but you know, oftentimes what I hate in our world we live in today is anytime you talk about Black love and Black pride, people will turn that around and make it seem like you are anti-white, anti-Hispanic, anti-this, anti-that. Yep. And so I want to put a disclaimer out there that we're not anti-anything. These are our personal preference and opinions, and we respect each and every relationship, however you want to do it. That's your choice. We're all adults. But I will always say what I say in public and what I say in private. I'm always speak the truth. For me in my house, I like brown sugar. Brown sugar, baby.
Okay.
I get high off your love.
Look at you. Look at you.
Give me some of that brown sugar.
Absolutely a preference over here. Absolutely. I deal with that with my kids. You know, I was so pro-Black and insisting that they date only Black. But I tell them at the same time, I don't have control over who you love, and nor will I ever tell you.
Yeah, I said that too.
Nor would I ever tell you that you can't love who you love.
Who you want to love, yeah.
It's up to you to have the experience that you want. It's up to you.
True.
It's up to you to have the experience that you desire. And with doing that, you're going to go through trials and tribulations that you've got to go through on your own. I can't help you go through your life experiences. However, if you're going to marry something outside of your race, you got to wait till I die. That's my only request.
You know what?
I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it. I just don't. But I tell my kids that
we physically going to get some good white girls and white boys and bring them over to your house.
I tell my kids, I'd rather you not, but I cannot dictate what your heart desires.
So what if your oldest daughter?
I don't like what?
What if your oldest daughter came home and say, "Mom, I know you're gonna be mad, but Jimmy boy is downstairs."
But he gonna die if he don't leave quick.
Well,
I don't play that.
On the other hand, is that, you know, the other elephant in the room is that, you know, although I don't want my children dating outside their race, I would prefer them to be with someone who looks like their mother and I. Mm-hmm. But I also don't want my children dating someone that looks like them, that's abusive or unsensitive or is not what they need. Yeah, and so I believe in love. I want everybody to have the love, the mad, deep love that I have. Yeah, I want, you know, that's my wish for everybody. But a lot of people are not finding love today because they're not staying long enough, you know, and they constantly repeating cycles. You know, you're gonna have to go through something with somebody. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree with that. I agree with that. If that's what you're seeking, if you are that male or female that is actually out there seeking your companion or your special person or your love of your life, You have to do that with great intent, and you can't do that until you figure out who you are and what you really need in your life. So, everybody is in a hurry to find love. Everybody's in a hurry to get married, and just to say that they're married or just to say that they're in a relationship, they're just settling for.
What should you do when you're damn near 100 years old? You ain't got a bunch of time.
I'm a believer of if it's meant to be, it'll be, and when it's supposed to happen, it'll happen. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. When it's supposed to happen, it'll happen, and if it's meant to be, it will be. It has no. I don't. What?
So you're saying you believe in fate and destiny?
Yes.
Why?
Because that's what life is. When you think about things that happen, a lot of times when we have tragedy in our life, it wasn't a planned tragedy. It just happens. And what happens? Life. Life happens. Your God didn't come down and say, I'm going to strike this motherfucker today because I want him up here with me. That's not how it happens. That's not how it happens. Life happens. And when life happens, it is what it is. So when things go on, whether you find your perfect person or not, it just isn't meant to be. And when it does happen, that's what was supposed to happen. That's what was supposed to happen.
Well, I personally, life has taught me and took me in a different direction. So I don't believe in fate or destiny because I think that's something that, is sort of like Greek mythology. And I think that anything that you plan and prepare for, you can create. And if you want it to happen, it will happen. If you don't, it won't. And I don't think fate or destiny has any plans in that. I really don't. I just don't. So I different.
That's kind of unrealistic and contradictory if you ask me, sir.
How?
I'm not even. We
you put a title on it. I'm not putting a title on it.
No, it's not necessarily a title. It just is what it is.
Yeah. So there's things. So you saying that there's nothing in your life that has happened that you didn't. So everything that's happened, you wanted it to happen,
and you planned it that way.
Yeah, you planned it.
No, that's not what I said, man.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. Life is what it is.
Life is, things happen, unprepared, but most things, shit just don't happen. So you saying basically what you're saying and what you're agreeing on is, so life plans who's going to be rich and who's going to be poor. As an example,
life dictates the way life happens. It totally dictates what goes on from day to day, because
so you don't play a part in
yes, because it's my life. It's my life. So of course I play a part in it. It's my life.
Well, you contradicting yourself.
No, I'm not.
No.
Life happens.
No, listen.
Life happens.
You gotta make your shit make sense, okay? You're saying
making sense.
If life is the factor, then how do you have a choice in it?
That's not
you
on a whole nother planet now.
Where you at? Listen, you are you procreate with life. Everything that goes on. Certain things happen that we have no control of, but it was predestined. The word predestined means that before you were conceived in your mother's womb, that certain things were going to happen. Now you can change certain things by, if you are on a path, you're doing drugs and you're doing what's wrong, then you are choosing a path of destruction, because from experience where that path will lead. But there are certain things in life that will happen. You will cross the path with whoever you cross the path with, and you're going to have children with. So you work with life. But you have a choice. We all have choices, but certain choices are predestined, I believe, to happen. That's my opinion.
We all make life happen for us day to day. When we get up, that's life happening. Get up, wash your face, eat, go to work. That's life happening.
You can't control getting hit by that car.
Yeah, exactly. You can't.
I didn't plan that. Shit.
That's life happening. That's what I mean by life happening. That's life happening.
Okay. Well, we're never going to agree on this subject, so we're going to move on to something else. But
Okay. So life don't happen for you? Come on now.
Magic, I've probably seen and done more shit than most people ever experienced in their life. But the thing about it is that I think a lot of the things that transpired in my life is based on, and this is just my opinion about my personal life, was based on poor planning and not being prepared. Unexpected things happen, but the majority of things that happen in my life just because of poor planning and not being prepared. So, with that being said, I don't think destiny had anything to do with it.
No, destiny is not about every part of life. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying destiny is a part of life in its entirety. Like what I'm saying is day to day is life. The things that we do is life. The things that happen to us during the day is
what he say on Titanic when he told him, he said destiny and life happens to all of us. He said 2 days ago I was sleeping on the streets. He said, now I'm sitting here on this fine boat having whiskey, playing cards with you fine folks. Same thing. All of us on this podcast, it was destiny to bring these talents and this charisma to the podcast for us all to run across one another. We all have a perspective, and the three of us, we bring together something and we call it a show. But that was destiny. Destiny brought this together.
Come on, yeah. Ramon. Bring it on.
So to not believe in to not believe in destiny, that's your choice. But that's a hard choice for me to have, because there are certain things that I know that destiny has brought together and has worked on my behalf and in my life. That's a personal opinion.
Yeah, destiny isn't always going to be good. Destiny isn't always going to be bad, but it's there.
Yeah, she's always working.
Yeah, she's
there. I did say she.
Karma. Yeah,
you heard. I did say she. Destiny is a woman.
Well, she better shut up talking to Ramon. Ramon. That's all I'm saying. She better shut up talking to Ramon.
You know what? we gonna close out on that note. Because y'all done tag team me tonight.
What do you say? The doors of the podcast are now open. Y'all got me in my spirit. That's right, sir. Let me say this in closing. Dating outside your race. It's your choice. It's your option. You deal with the repercussions or the goodness or the bad that comes with that. I think for Black men and Black women, we should learn to unify. We should learn to get along. We should learn to tolerate and learn from one another. Period. That's it. That's all.
So
I would.
Example?
Huh?
Are you willing to be that example?
Be the example to do what exactly? What does the example look like?
What you just said.
I don't date outside my race.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
About Black men and Black women getting along.
Oh, absolutely. I've told you this before. There isn't a Black man that has ever crossed my path that I cannot have a conversation with to this day. I'm a very likable person. I get along with so many people in so many different parts of life. It's not even funny. I absolutely embrace Black men. Gerald will tell you, I am on my page all the time praising Black men. No matter what their struggle is, I am here for a Black man always. As far as a Black man approaching me and wanting to date me, you please have to come with your strength. You have to come with a backbone. You have to be prepared to date me. You just have to be prepared. And that means let's have a conversation so you understand and know where I stand. And that means I need to know where you stand. I need to know what your needs are. I want to know that I am able and capable of helping you deal with what your needs are. If I'm not able and capable, we're going to communicate that and see what comes next. But if, as a Black man coming to date me, I am very strong-headed. I'm very strong. I'm
So
extremely.
Ramon, is
So
that
I need
realistic?
that match. I need that same energy.
Is,
And at the
is
same
that
time, you have to be able to be in control enough to tell me, okay, lady, that's enough. I've had enough. I've heard enough. Be the fuck quiet. You have to be that strong for me to accept that, because I'm not going to accept that from just anybody. I'm just not. I'm
Okay.
just not.
And you, Ramon?
You have to be that strong. And if
I
you're that strong and you're that capable, I'm a listen.
what I'm asking you is a woman that is coming with the energy and those things, is that a woman that not magic, but is that what she's saying is those things, qualities that Black men are able to deal with women?
Oh God, absolutely. I was married.
No, I'm not asking you, Magic. Magic, I'm not asking you.
I understand, but there are men out there that can tame.
I know that, but I know you. Me and you are on the same page. I want to know what his opinion is on
for
it.
Ramon. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I already know what your answer goes. I want to know.
Okay.
He asked the question to you. I'm now throwing it back at him.
Gotcha.
What she's requiring as a Black woman is those things, are those qualities that a Black man from your circle or that you can deal with, or is that too spunky for you?
Well, I like your choice of words, spunky. Okay, but here's the thing, man. Me being a male, as some would like to call it, me coming into my maturity, even at my age, I welcome it, because now I can partake in that sensitive role, being with the woman and providing that safe zone based on whatever she's come from. Prior to me coming into this point and stage of my life, no. I'm talking about I was very unempathetic. I was very unsensitive to a whole bunch of things. I welcome it because I need a strong woman, because oftentimes, man, people don't understand, as men, we're not Superman. We don't wear capes. We don't leap over tall buildings, okay? We get weak, we become vulnerable. And we need that type of woman to keep us balanced. So when we stumble and fall, to pull us up. Unfortunately, I haven't had that type of woman in my life. Okay.
Ever.
So now, never. And now that I've come, because all the women that I've been with, I've always dominated. Always. You don't have a say, maybe on holidays, and ain't no holidays in the foreseeable future. That was my mentality. But I don't have that perspective now. So
right.
With that being said,
I respect that.
Yeah, I embrace that, but I'm talking about, who knows? But who knows what destiny has in store for me, as y'all.
What we got? What they say? This podcast is for entertainment purposes only.
Yes, absolutely.
So you know what, man?
Absolutely.
I love both of you. From the bottom of my heart, I can honestly say that you really opened my eyes and ears to a lot of things that I'm a very knowledgeable person. I have just like Magic. My academic accolades are extensive, real extensive, and but there's a lot of things about life I don't know, even at my age. And
there's not nothing wrong with that.
Being fortunate enough to, as you put it, destiny, being a part of this podcast has given me the opportunities to grow, to step into that light of maturity that's beyond what I thought maturity was from just a physical perspective. You know what I'm saying? Now I can think. Now I can rationalize. Everything is not about physical with me anymore. It's about compromise. It's about understanding, being empathetic, and being sensitive. When life has taught me, because of my indecisions and poor choices, have taught me to be callous, cold-hearted, and just treacherous. and I don't mean scandalous by no means. I've never been that, but I mean treacherous, where I'm always in that survival mode. Anything that I feel is a threat, I attack. I don't wait, I attack. And
You
um
did.
I did.
You you
No,
did attack. Yeah,
I
yeah,
did attack.
passing. Yeah. Yes,
And
yes.
and I want to thank you, Magic, because when I first met you, you said some things to me in reference to that, because we had an in-depth conversation about some of the choices that I made in my life and the consequences that followed those choices. And you you opened my eyes, even though we kind of disagreed on certain things. I'm the type of person, I may not agree with you, but when I'm not in your presence, I rehash the things that you said. And if those things are valid, then I incorporate those things into my life. And that's what this podcast, it has been a learning curve for me, to say the least. Okay. And so I'm a keep with my effort, and I hope you do the same thing to keep this podcast going, because it's a benefit to me personally, not financially. None of us are making any money off this. It's for our own section, not.
Oh, sex? What? Where that's at? Where that? What screen is that on? Where that? I'm looking. Where that at?
See, Ramon, see, I can't talk to her, man. When she say certain things, she just throw me off, man.
I'm looking for it. Where is that?
I meant to say self-gratification, not sex. But anyhow, again, in closing, I want to thank you, Ramon, for being that brother to me, man, for helping me understand things, for making me be sensitive when it comes to women. And we haven't even been doing this a long time. You know what I'm saying? And we
Yeah.
haven't been talking about things like this, but I have embraced some of your ideology. Thank you, Magic, for being patient, for fighting back, because I come in like Mike Tyson. And you kind of humbled me to a degree. You opened my eyes to a lot of different perspectives as a black man. And I thank you both. And
you're
like
welcome.
I said,
You're welcome.
I
You'll
got
see. I'm a good friend. I'm a good friend. I'm a good person.
sexy friend.
I don't judge. I just got a big personality. I'm very outspoken, but I'm a true and dear person to have as a friend. And if I tell you I really fuck with you, I fuck with you. The people that know me know how I get down. That's just who I am. I've walked into circles and told people, walk into rooms, if you need me, call me. And I don't even know those people. That's just how I am. I have a very giving heart, but I don't tolerate bullshit. I have a very short span for
You've proven
bullshit.
that. You've proven that, because you've taken the initiative to do things in reference to this podcast that wasn't even asked to you. So that within itself, this is my pet peeve. This is my heart. I'm trying to build it up. I think, as Ramon said earlier, trying to build this thing up. We bring different perspectives, and I think that's what destiny is going to bless us with. To where, because I noticed one thing about this podcast, looking at these numbers up top. I don't know if you can see them where you're at, but even though they're not high, the numbers are reflected different on my inbox, because I'm getting all these comments and all this stuff where people are saying, thumbs up and hearts and stuff. They're just going through it when they see the video, because a lot of people watching these podcasts days and weeks later, and they're commenting. Because like this lady, Go Getter Pearson, I don't even have a clue who that is.
She's from my I'm a vice president of a club that another young lady, her and I did on Facebook. So that's, sometimes I pop in on that group of Black women and we talk about different things. We post about different things. We have discussions about different things. So I know who she is. We've had conversations before. And if I'm not mistaken, she is a single Black woman, very strong, very independent. She's a mom. She's got her own business. she does things. She's a good contributor. So hopefully I can get her on here at some point, knowing that she has tapped in just to see what's going on. So I do post the as soon as we go live, I turn on my iPad and I share the video in my groups that I moderate in and admin for. So it gets around. It gets around.
Well, let me note this again in closing that you know, when we create these narratives that's so invigorating and so enthusiastic, you know, these shows were originally designed for 1 hour. We're almost into 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And the time doesn't matter to me, and I understand you both have families, and I thank you for that, because you're taking time away from your families to participate in this. But it goes to show you the dynamics of this podcast and what it's growing to become. So, you know, I don't think I would even be at this point had it not been for you, Ramon. You came in at a late date, but you put a whole new spin to this. You know, same thing with your Magic. You start watching it from the beginning, but you came in, you know, when I was just narrating by myself, and you know, so I thank you for bringing other people in. And as we continue to do this, you know, this is not, you know, and I know, Magic, you say this a lot, Ramon, it's your podcast. No, it's our podcast. You know, I may have came up with the idea, but I don't own the rights to this. This is something that I extend to you as family. You know, I don't want to take credit for this, because I didn't do this by myself. You know, the people are starting to tune in because of your perspectives. And the more perspectives we bring to the show, the better it becomes for all of us.
You know, it's so many relationships and couples and Black people who are that have, a lot of people have your perspective, a lot of people have my perspective, they have Magic and Londa's, and so a lot of arguments are going on in people's homes, and they like, damn, you see, he said the same thing. You see, she said the same thing. And so what it does, what I believe it does, it opens an open dialogue where oftentimes women are having conversations in the beauty shops, men are having conversations in the barbershop. But we brought your show brought a dialogue where now we're bringing both the barbershop and the beauty shop under one shop. And people are being able to have one conversation, and so I think what you're doing is you're doing a really good job, and I think it's going to grow, because a lot of people think the same way that all of us think,
Right.
and they need someone else to referee it, and that's what I think that we're bringing a perspective that the person that's watching it is not thinking that way by themselves.
Yeah, good point. That's a good point, Ramon.
Yeah, it's something for everybody to reference to, you know, and that's the reason I wanted to get away from that that single narrative, because people would be like, well, who the hell is he? He ain't mowed. He ain't got no beard. You know, I'm talking about it's really been a pleasure, and this travel has been pleasant, and we haven't had any hiccups. I think from the beginning, you know, with this equipment, because I have a lot of equipment here, man, and I don't know how to operate. I bought new equipment, and I don't even know how to operate half of this stuff, you know. So I'm in the process. I talked to my IT tech today, just to give you a heads up. He's coming by my house tomorrow. We're going to set up a call-in line. We're going to do all this stuff, and it's not going to cost me any more money to do it. So he's going to do it for me.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so we can have a call-in line, because again, a lot of people don't want to show their faces for various reasons. I understand that and respect that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
The more participants we can get involved, the bigger this show will grow. And like I said, you know,
they can get on and not have their camera on. You can tap it.
That's
well,
true.
well, a lot of people don't understand that. They just rather call in, you know. So
Right. Yeah.
the queue. But here's the thing. Tomorrow I'm gonna find out how many members I can put on here, and what I would like to do. You, Magic, and you too, Ramon. I'll add you on as members because there's gonna be times where I can't host the show, and like you said, we have to be consistent. So whoever has the opportunity, then you can just log in and you can run the show from your house without
Yeah.
all you need to do is you just need this platform.
Yeah.
So I'll check tomorrow. I know you can do one, but I think I would probably have to upgrade to do more than one. But whatever we need to do to make it right, then we'll do that. Okay.
All right.
So we're gonna close this out. Again, thank you all for attending. Juro, Hen, who else on here? Go Getter. For all the people that's watching and the people that may watch tomorrow, the next day, thank you for your support. Thank you again, Miss Magic. Thank you, Grandpa. I love you. Have a blessed and safe night.
Good night, Mr. and Mrs. Ramon.
All right. She sleep. She didn't went to sleep over there.
So if you come up, Ramon, with a good topic, hit me up, bro, and we'll put it on.
All right. Sounds good. You guys have a blessed and beautiful night.
All right,
Okay.
you too. Have a good night.
Good
Be
night.
safe.
All right.
All right.